welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's start with new video. Today's video is about comprehension. But before talking about this question, let's subscribe my channel by breathing the hymn down. Like, share and comment. Dear student, I will read out a passage for you. After reading this passage, we will try to know the core and the central idea of this passage. Then we will try to make notes over it. Child labor has been sought in the country since the middle of the 19th century, when factories first made an appearance. Since children in most industries provide the same productivity as adults, and in several cases even more, but at a far lower cost, they were soon recognized as a means to lower overheads and increase profits. However, as the Industrial Revolution progressed, gradually the people became aware of the torture they were subjecting their children to, both mentally and physically. But even as the country continued to progress at various levels, it lagged behind in terms of the wherewithal and prosperity needed to take care of the new social relations which had sprung up, with result that wages for workers were abysmally low and it was difficult for a family to survive on one man's wages. This is when human resources became the only true assets families had, and every pair of working hands, including those of children, was engaged in earning livelihood. And once child labor had made an appearance in the job market, employers soon began to prefer working children to working adults. For not only could they give the same output as an adult worker at a much lower cost, but were also more nimble and agile and more amenable to discipline. The employers prefer children because their high profits depend largely on child labor. It is indeed lamentable that poverty even compels parents and guardians to barter their children for money. A number of young children are sold by their parents or pledged as bonded labor. Government of India has framed so many laws against the bonded labor, against the child labor, but poor implementation of law and poverty, illiteracy, increasing population made some parents compelled to engage their children in the child labor. So here, implementation of law is very important to bring this situation under control. And those who engage the children for labor purpose and to earn money should be punished to set the example for others. Dear student, these are 4 paragraphs in this passage, and each paragraph has a key word in the first line of the paragraph. So dear student, we will take almost 4 to 5 main heading, and with each heading we will write at least 3 or 4 subheading to make it perfect note making. Let's start. Before making it fair, let's try some rough work over these paragraphs. Dear student, I knew the central idea of this passage. This passage is about child labor. How child labor came into existence, why employers prefer children to work in the factories, how they thought them good profit earner, right? What is the impact of child labor when it appears in the job market? Why employers prefer working children to working adults? Why children are amenable to discipline? Why parents and guardians compel them to barter their children for money? Why children are sold by their parents and pledged as bonded labor? So what is the best contraceptive to check this child labor and all? Let's do some rough work over this. जैसे मैंने कहा कि हर पैराग्राफ की फर्स्ट लाइन में हमें कीवर्ड मिलता है और वो कीवर्ड ही हमारी मेन हेडिंग होती है और उस मेन हेडिंग और उस कीवर्ड के बारे में नीचे पैराग्राफ में डिस्कस किया होता है एंड वॉट एवर इज देयर इन द रेस्ट पार्ट ऑफ द पैराग्राफ अबाउट दिस कीवर्ड अबाउट दिस मेन हेडिंग, तो वो उसकी सब हेडिंग्स होगी. अभी यहाँ पर हम अपने रफ वर्क में किसी भी तरह की मेन हेडिंग सब हेडिंग नहीं लिखेंगे. Our first work and first task is to bring out the best thought and best line from the passage and from the paragraph. Afterward, सारा रफ वर्क करने के बाद हम देखेंगे कि इनमें से कौन हमारी मेन हेडिंग हो सकती है और कौन सी सब हेडिंग बनाई जा सकती है. Let's see. Child labor, middle of the 19th centuries, appearance of factories, provide the same productivity as adult, far lower cost, means to lower overheads and increase profits, industrial revolution progressed, aware of torture physically and mentally, lagged behind in terms of wherewithal and prosperity, wages for workers were abysmally low, engaged in the earning livelihood, appearance in the job market, employers prefer working children, same output as an adult worker, lower cost, nimble and agile, amenable to discipline, highly profitable for the employer, poverty, parents and guardians compelled to barter their children, sold their children, parents placed as bonded labor, frame effective law, proper implementation of the law, strict action against the culprit, set the example. All these lines and all these quotes are our best lines from the passage. Now is the time to arrange them in order and make heading and subheading. How to do? See, my first heading is child labor, which I found in the very first line of the first paragraph. Right? ये एक कीवर्ड है और इसके नीचे जो कुछ भी हम इसके बारे में बता रहे हैं वो हमारी सब हेडिंग होगी. How? My first subheading is child labor exists mid of 19th century. Children provide same productivity as adults. Children are very far lower in cost, means to lower overhead and increase profits. These are subheadings for the first main heading, child labor. Now the next one is negative impact of child labor. People become aware of the torture. Number 2, physical and mental harassment and torture. Behind in terms of wherewithal and prosperity. Wages for workers were abysmally low. Engage the children in earning. Now, my third main heading is appearance of child labor in job market. First subheading is employers prefer children to work. Children give same output as an adult. Children are nimble and agile, amenable to discipline, high profits for employer. Next main heading will be parents and guardians are compelled to what? Main heading will be barter their children, sold the children, placed as bonded labor. My next and last main heading is how to check child labor. Subheadings under it will be because subheading कौन है जो चाइल्ड लेबर के चेक करने के और इस खत्म करने के बारे में बोल रहा है. What are these? These are effective and strict law, effective implementation, or we can write proper implementation of law, Culprit must be punished. Set examples. These are main heading and subheading, which is best material of our passage. Now there is one very important thing which I must tell you, abbreviations. एब्रीवेशन एक ऐसी टर्म होती है जहां पर हम एक बड़े से शब्द को छोटा करते हैं, कंसाइज करते हैं. लाइक माई फर्स्ट हेडिंग इज चाइल्ड लेबर. सो लेबर को मुझे छोटा करना है, तो लेबर के लिए मैं LAB लिखने वाला हूं. LAB. राइट आफ्टर द LAB आई विल पुट फुल स्टॉप. ये फुल स्टॉप इस बात की निशानी होती है कि ये एब्रीवेटेड वर्ड है जिसे हम एब्रीवेशन ब्लॉक में ढूंढेंगे. नेक्स्ट वन इज द सेंचुरी. सेंचुरी के लिए सिर्फ CEN एंड देन फुल स्टॉप. प्रोडक्टिविटी है PROD फुल स्टॉप. ओके. ओवरहेड के लिए OVERH फुल स्टॉप. ऑलराइट. अपीयरेंस APP फुल स्टॉप. चिल्ड्रन CHIL फुल स्टॉप. एमिनेबल के लिए AMEN फुल स्टॉप. डिसिप्लिन के लिए DISC. बॉन्डेड BON फुल स्टॉप. इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए IMP. ऑलराइट. एंड आफ्टर दिस हम फुल स्टॉप लगाएंगे, जो हमें ये बताता है कि ये जितने भी एब्रीवेटेड वर्ड है, आप एब्रीवेशन ब्लॉक में देखिए कि ये फुल और पूरा शब्द है क्या. नाउ वी हैव डन आवर टू वर्क. द फर्स्ट वन वाज नोट मेकिंग एंड सेकंड वन एब्रीवेशन ब्लॉक. एब्रीवेशन ब्लॉक में हम वही एब्रीवेशन यूज करेंगे जो हमने नोट मेकिंग में वर्ड्स यूज किए होते हैं. ऑलराइट. Our next and third work is to write title. If there is something about child labor in our passage, so your title must be associated and related with this material. The last is to make summary. If you want to make and write best summary, so dear student, we have already taken out and brought out best material from the passage. Right? It is there in the note making. Now, one very important thing I must tell you, whenever we make notes, कि जब भी हम नोट मेकिंग कर रहे होते हैं उस दौरान हमें इसे phrases में लिखते हैं. Okay? Just have a look. There is no use of any is, am, are, was, were, has, have, shall, will, etc. These are in phrases. But whenever you are writing your summary, in the summary you have to follow the proper grammar. You can use every line from the note making, right? You can join them together with the help of the grammar. Factories were introduced in the middle of 19th century, and to increase the productivity, child labor were used. Child labor was beneficial in all ways because their productivity was same as adults, and they were available at lower cost. With time, people became more aware about the torture happening to children due to labor. But the wages were very low for workers and for the survival of family. Children also engaged to earn livelihood. Employers prefer child labor because they are available at low cost and are more agile, nimble, and amenable to discipline. Due to poverty, parents and guardians have to barter their children for money. Also, many children have to be sold or pledged as bonded labor by their parents. There should be strict action against the culprit, for which strict law should be there and proper implementations to check the child labor. This was your summary, right? In the summary, we used all the lines which we have used in our note making. Hope you understood. Go one more time and even more than one time to understand this topic. See you soon.